One night, the woman was on her way home from work. She found an injured man lying by the trash. When she got closer to check, she realized it was her ex-boyfriend who abandoned her 15 years ago. Back then, they had been deeply in love. She was an outstanding student at school, while Johnny was a street thug. To buy her a diamond ring as soon as possible, Johnny worked as a gang enforcer, and within a month he had finally saved up enough money. But that day, the police came looking for him. They said Johnny had attacked a gang boss 3 days earlier. The man died from his injuries, and now Johnny had to be arrested. Johnny admitted to the crime, but begged the police to give him a little time, so he could say goodbye to his girlfriend. The woman thought he was about to propose, but instead, Johnny broke up with her. She thought it was a joke, and held out the cake she had prepared, but he pushed it to the ground. He didn't even dare look at her heartbroken face, with tears in his eyes. He made the breakup sound even more ruthless. After she stormed out, Johnny finally broke down crying. He picked the cake off the floor and ate it piece by piece. His guilt and pain kept him awake all night. 15 years passed. Johnny rose to power and became a ruthless crime boss. But now, injured and hunted by rivals. The next morning when he woke up, he noticed a photo on the table, and realized it was her who had saved him. Johnny thought she must still hate him, so he quietly slipped away. But his behavior caught Annie's attention. She suspected some other woman was getting close to Johnny. When the woman returned home, Annie warned her to stay away, saying Johnny was now a crime boss, and that she had no business being around him. The woman explained they had known each other years ago, but when Annie heard her name, she lied and said Johnny hated her the most, that he had worked hard to get rid of her back then. Before leaving, Annie even claimed she was Johnny's wife. In truth, Johnny had never married. For 15 years, he had never stopped thinking about her. Annie was nothing more than a so-called friend. Johnny's men later investigated her life. They learned she had quit her good job to care for her mother who was in a coma. Now she was barely surviving with odd jobs. When Johnny found out she was still single, he was overjoyed. He rushed to find her, but only watched from a distance. Seeing how hard her life was made him heartbroken, so he gave money to strangers to pass along to her. Day after day, he appeared near her workplace, until one day, he couldn't hold back anymore. He walked right up to her. Their eyes met, and it felt like they had said everything without words. Johnny took her into his car, but she refused. She told him their relationship had ended long ago, and that she was no longer worthy of him. Then she got out and walked away. But Annie saw everything. She was convinced the woman wanted Johnny back. That night, she brought a gang of thugs, and smashed the woman's food stall. On his way to the night market, Johnny suddenly felt something was wrong. Meanwhile, Annie was humiliating the woman. Even as she begged for mercy, Annie ignored her cries, and ordered her men to beat her. An elderly lady nearby tried to call the police, but Annie threatened her, saying anyone who dared to help would get beaten too. The woman desperately explained she had nothing with Johnny, but Annie refused to believe it. Even when the woman was already bruised and bleeding, Annie still wasn't satisfied.